Hey traders, in this video I'm going to do something different. I'm going to share with you some foundations that you must be able to apply if you want to be a good trader in these markets. So let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video. Trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There is no guarantees of making money in the markets, and trading is the most hardest thing you will ever do, and it takes a long time to become a good trader. So this video is just educational only. If you're struggling with your trading right now, then click on the very first link in the description and get learn a free training, the 7 universal laws to become a master trader that will boost your success, consistency, and confidence without spending a decade trying to figure it out. Click on the very first link in the description right now. Alright, so let me get straight into this market right now. I'm actually just looking at AG. If you guys want to know what this stock is, it's AG. Looking at AG. Now, the thing is one thing I want to share with you guys is about the foundations that actually makes a good trader. What's a success trader? Let's actually talk about the most important things that when it comes down to your trading, what do you need in order for you to be a good trader? Now, I know this might sound very, very, very simplistic, but I talk to a lot of people every day on the phone and via the online stuff and all that sort of stuff. And one thing that's really important, one thing I see so many people doing wrong, and I've been there before for years and years and years, is they're going to other people's resources, including my own, to tell them when they should get in and when they should get out, which is completely wrong, right? Which is not the right thing to do. What I'm talking about here is that if you are subscribed to newsletters, if you're subscribed to other people telling you what to do, telling you when to get in, when to get out, then that's the wrong thing to do. Now, if you're subscribed to, like some people are subscribed to my private coaching is about teaching you a strategy and then helping you develop the awareness and the mindset that actually goes with the trading to help you identify for yourself when to get in and when to get out and all sort of stuff, right? So if you're serious about making money from the markets, this is what you need to apply. If you don't, then you're not going to get ahead in the markets. So this is the foundations. Use these foundational techniques to get ahead. The very first thing that you need is you need just one simple chart setup. That's all you need, just one simple chart setup. You don't need newsletters or videos or subscriptions or any of this garbage and junk to tell you when to get in and when to get out. No, that's not what it takes to be long-term successful in the markets. What you need is you need one chart setup that you believe in. Right? One chart setup that you believe in. With me so far? So, after you've done that one chart setup and you believe in it and you're with that there, now your job now, number 2, is just to take this setup every single time it appears on the charts. That's the first 2 steps there. So the first step is just to have one simple edge, right? For you guys have been seeing my training, you guys know what my simple edge is. I have a very, very, very simple trading strategy and it works. I don't need any more garbage or anything like that, or any RSI or stochastics to get in and get out or anything like that. No, just one simple edge. But also number two is that my job is just to take that every single time. But what also goes number 2, you need to be disciplined. Discipline simply means you need to take the trade every time, which discipline, there's another little thing down the bottom here when it comes to discipline. I'll talk about that in a minute. But then you also need to be what? P for patience, which also leads to another thing down the bottom here for a minute as well too. So let's go into the discipline side. The discipline side is this. Let me explain something here. In every single system you have, in every single trading system, doesn't matter what you trade, and this is why it's so important to make sure you trade in the exact same setup every single time, because every single setup, every single trading system that you trade has a success rate, all right? It has a success rate. So within that success rate, you obviously have your winners and you have your losers. But can you tell me which one are going to be the losers and which one are going to be the winners? You can't, can you? So being disciplined simply means you're going to continue to take the setup regardless of what you think, hope, or fear, continue to take the setup, rethink, hope, or fear. Because I guarantee you, when you start to pick and choose, when you start to try to be right with the market, you end up not taking trades that meet your plan that run on for a good profit. So a professional trader has no expectations on any given one trade. How can you, when you know there's going to be, even if you have an 80% win-loss ratio, that means 8 times out of 10 you're going to make money, and the 2 you're going to make money. If I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I do 10 trades here and I know I'll get an 80% win-loss ratio, that's roughly means 8 out of every 10 trades are going to be profitable. Can you tell me which one's going to be the losing one? No one can tell, right? So our need to be right in the market actually stops us from moving forward. And our need to be right, though, actually stops us from moving forward. How it stops us from moving forward? Because now because we think that if we lose money on a trade, now if you just took something nilly-nilly and you took a trade just based on what you thought was a good idea, well, guess what? Now that's just gambling, right? If you're looking for a probability game, you need to take the exact same setup every single time. Now, if you take the exact same setup every single time, and now you're looking at all these setups here, now your job as a mindset is not to have any expectations. How can you have any expectations on an individual trade? You can't, can you? You just simply can't, because this one here might be the loser and this one here might be the loser. Or you might get 2 losers in the middle here and the rest the winners and the rest the winners. You know what I mean? Like you just never know. You never know which one is going to be the losers. So trying to be right with the market, you actually end up going backwards with the market. Your job is to have a successful trading setup and take it every single time and have no expectations tied to that. What I mean by that is that you don't know whether that one trade you're taking today is going to be part of the losing trades. And you must accept the fact that that actually could be the case. You don't know the fact that today might be, or the next 2 or 3 trades might be part of the 80% winners that you're getting, or 70% winners, or whatever you're getting. You don't know that, right? So your job as a professional trader is to take these individual trades here, is to take these trades. Let me do this a different color here. Is to take these trades and have no expectations. And accept the fact on every single given one trade that this one here could be the one that runs on for a nice profit or a small profit, or it could be the one that stops you out and you have a loss. Be okay with either one. And the thing is, if you look at reality, right? That's reality. Reality fact is that we don't know which one. But what ends up happening when we're actually trading the markets? What ends up happening? We may have 10 trades, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We may be trading the one setup over here. We may be doing that. But because our ego likes to be right? It's like, I want to be right type thing. Guess what? Let me actually do this here now. Let me go down to this one here. So you may take a very first trade and you might have a win here. You're like, oh, that was fantastic. The next trade you take was a win again. You're like, oh, this is awesome. You know what I mean? I made money. You're right. You're right, so to speak. And the next one's a loser. Oh, you didn't like that, did you? Oh. And guess what? And now the next one's another loser. You're like, hang on a minute. I thought I had an 80% win-loss ratio. I've now only had 2 wins and 2 losses. Oh my goodness. And now you start to get fearful. And now you start to get worried. And guess what? This trade over here, you say, I'm not going to take this setup here because I think it's going to be a loser. Who cares what you think? No one knows, right? No one knows the outcome of the individual trade. And it's not about knowing the outcome of the individual trade. It's not about getting every single trade right. So then you don't take that, and guess what? Not only is this a winner, but this one here, you might have gotten, maybe trading options, maybe 50% over here, 60% over here, a 30% loss here, a 40% loss here. This one here went to 100% win. Boom, took off, right? Took off 100%. Now you're kicking yourself like, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe that. And not only do you miss that trade, but what is this trade over here? You actually don't wait for this setup. What do? You actually jump into something that did not meet your plan, or you rushed into something that wasn't really a setup, and now that was a loser as well too. Can you see how this is the mindset of a successful trader that goes into the markets? So when you are disciplined, your job, as I said before, once you have your setup in place and you know what the setup looks like, you know when to get in, And the getting out is always the hardest part, right? Especially like when managing trades, especially like getting out for profits. You get out now, you know, so on and so forth. That's always the hardest part with that. But, you know, you can have some simple rules around that. But as I said before, guys, like, that's one of the reasons why most people struggle with the markets, right? Because they think they need to know the outcome of the individual trade. We don't, right? When I take a trade these days, I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day. I don't care, because every time I do care, it's like I'm starting to get involved with it all. And every time I do care about what's actually happening with the markets, now what am I doing? Now I'm actually starting to play with the odds. And now I'm trying to be right and wrong and all that sort of stuff. It's like, you know, my mentor said people would rather be right than rich in the markets. You don't have to know the outcome. So every single trade you take, you must set yourself up to say, okay, this one here could be part of the losing percent. And if it is a losing trade, you weren't wrong. It was just part of the win-loss ratio. Now, if you're taking 10 trades and 10 of those are completely different setups from completely different resources, completely different things, then yes, you're an idiot and you're a moron and you're never going to get ahead in the markets, right? It's called a probability. Every single trade you take has a probability built into it. Sorry, no. Every single trade you take has a random outcome. Right? Every single trade, even if you have the best amazing trading setup on the planet, every single trade you take has a random outcome. But it's built in with the probability of an outcome. That probability is shown over, say, 10 trades, or I say more like 20 trades. Take 20 trades of the exact same setup, and now you start to see your win-loss ratio and all that sort of stuff. It is absolutely phenomenal. And the more time you can just get out of the way and stop being right with the market and do your job as a trader, and to take that one setup every single time, you'll start to get consistency, you'll start to move forward. And that brings myself back to this one here, P for patience. What is that? One of the biggest things that stops traders is being patient and waiting for that setup. Sometimes when I'm trading, I trade a day chart, so I trade the last hour. Sometimes I'm trading and then there's 2 or 3 or 4 trades per week. Lately, the last few weeks have been phenomenal. But sometimes there's a week or 2 weeks where I have no trades at all. My job is to sit on my hands and not do nothing until, guess what? My plan is met, and then I need to start incorporating more of the number 2, which is exactly what we talked about down here. This is the focus on this to become an amazing trader. If you seriously looking forward to getting in the markets. And I hope you can see now that this is the mindset. This is just part of the mindset. This is part of the mindset that's going to help you move forward in the markets. Let me know what you think below, guys.